Hello everyone and welcome to a quick visual comparison between the three 1/4 scale Batman Begins figures I have. We have the NECA version, the Entebbe version, and the Hot Toys version. Now I think pretty much everyone is stock here. I didn't put the Velvet Cape back on the Entebbe version in the center. I decided to put the stock Entebbe Cape back on him to keep everything fair, because once you put a Velvet Cape on one of these, they just go to a much higher level. So to keep it fair, I've got everyone's stock cape on them. You can see, I mean, the Entebbe cape is lovely, but it does read on camera, it's sort of coming across as a purple colour. But believe me, in person, it's very much a black. Don't know what happens with that when it comes to, the effect the camera has on the way it looks. But it does look like a kind of purple colour to me on film. Weird. Trust me, it's not like that in person. Anyway, let's take a look at the cowls. This is the NECA Batman Begins cowl, and I think this is fantastic. Obviously, the paint apps are not as, impressive as the high-end Entebbe and Hot Toys pieces, but the actual sculpt itself, I do really like. And I think the likeness to Christian Bale was really good as well. I mean, for a NECA figure, $100 or £100, whatever, I mean, they did a really good job with the actual mouth section, you know. I've seen some people review it and say that they've not too keen on the kind of stubble effect. I don't really have too much of that on mine. Very little in the way of stubble on this one. The eyes seem to be a more accurate colour because they are hazel green. Hot Toys tend to just go with straight brown eyes for Christian Bale whenever they do a Batman figure, but it's not correct. The belt, well, I don't know, let's just go on. Let's stick with the heads for now. So anyway, there is your NECA Batman Begins, which I think is very, very impressive for the price. Really, really impressive. NECA clearly put a lot of passion into their Batman Begins figure. They really did. Full respect to them. I absolutely do love that company. Even where the cape clips are positioned. Very accurate. Great job on the cape too, but we'll come back to that. Here is the Entebbe, one of the three Batman heads that they give you. They give you four in total, which is unheard of. Four heads with a figure, three Batman heads, all looking in different directions, interchangeable mouth plates, and one Bruce Wayne head as well, totaling four heads. That's insane. Yeah, let's just take a look. Different angles, an incredible likeness to Christian Bale, accurate eye color, great face plates that do interchange, kind of. I mean, they do fit into the Hot Toys cowl. They're not meant to. You can feel when you're doing it that it's a bit of a tight squeeze, and you don't want to push the mouth plates in too far in case they get stuck. But I'm sure you'd always be able to get them out again. But the mouth plates on the Entebbe figure are extremely impressive. Always have been. Absolutely dead-on likeness to Christian Bale as far as the actual mouth section goes, and the eyes as well. But the paint app, just all round, obviously it's 5 years old now, so things have progressed. This is the Hot Toys one. You can see just a much smoother, cleaner effect on the cowl itself. In a way, it's kind of cool because this is from the Dark Knight film, technically. So the suit was pretty worn in and beat down by this point because he'd been wearing it for 2 years, I think. So I kind of like the more beat down, weathered effect that the Entebbe sort of has now in comparison to the minty fresh off the assembly line Batman Begins suit from Hot Toys. The thickness of the neck on the Hot Toys one does seem to be thicker than the Entebbe. Let's just come back here. Yeah, you can see the Entebbe one isn't quite as thick as the Hot Toys. I mean, that's actually considerably thicker. I mean, like, as in the distance from the back of the neck to the front where the Adam's apple would be. Considerably thicker on the Hot Toys one. How about NECA? NECA also not as thick as the Hot Toys neck. You can see it's quite considerable. I mean, it's not subtle. You can tell straight away that the Hot Toys cowl is a thicker neck. So that is interesting. I like the thick neck. I mean, that's one of the things I like most about this suit. That kind of animal-like effect that it has. That is the mouth plate by Hot Toys. It's all right. I mean, yeah, it's Christian Bale. You can tell. But I don't know. I think there's something about the Entebbe mouth plates that's just a little bit more, and also the detail on the actual texture of the skin. There's like not paintwork, but actual in the sculpt. There's like indentations, little pores of the skin that the Hot Toys one just doesn't have. The Hot Toys one has an incredible paint app to kind of replicate the, all the little divots and, I don't know what to call them, but yeah, Hot Toys one is very impressive. I just think the Entebbe one is just a little bit more accurate, a little bit more detailed. I mean, just look. Bring the brightness down for you. Yeah, amazing mouth plates by Entebbe. Belts. Let's just have a look at the belts. The colour of the NECA belt is pretty accurate. A little bit over the top with the kind of heading into orange territory. That goldy bronze colour. It's definitely, it's. I'd say the Entebbe one is the exact colour that it should be for Batman Begins. It did change in tone in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. There is the Hot Toys Dark Knight Rises Batman. You can see it's sort of lightened in colour. But in Batman Begins, it had a bit more of a sort of bronzish kind of shade to it. And now on the latest one, the Hot Toys has just copied straight up the tone of the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, which isn't really accurate, but it is a better belt than what Entebbe gave us, because you actually have to sort of undo it and tie it together at the back to get it to sit at the right level. So, 3 very different belts. Boots, obviously, they've gone for the hard plastic with the NECA. This guy doesn't tend to want to stand up on his own for very long. I'll always come back and find him on the floor. He'll take a swan dive, but thanks to this super squishy carpet, no damage has been done. But the boots on the Entebbe, quite a nice, tough, thick rubber, or even kind of feels like sort of hard plastic at times. So no, I wouldn't call it rubber because it's way too smooth. It doesn't attract any dust. This suit has always been incredible when it comes to it. It's just so smooth. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know what they used for this, but Entebbe did an incredible job with the Batsuit itself. A nice matte finish, really smooth, and doesn't really attract any dust. I haven't cleaned this in, God, I don't think I've ever really cleaned it, to be honest. I mean, I blow the dust off his shoulders sometimes and give him a little spruce with my feather duster, but I've never really had to actually go in and dust him that much. Saying that, I'm seeing some little bit of build up around here. I need to get in there with a fine little paintbrush or something. But yeah, the Entebbe suit is very impressive and definitely not a dust magnet. The Hot Toys one doesn't seem to be attracting much dust either, to be honest, and it's definitely a more shiny finish. Depending on what screenshots you look at or what behind the scenes footage you check out, sometimes the Batman Begins suit looked like it had a nice kind of shine to it like this. Then other times, especially if you look at the behind the scenes of the train fight between him and Ra's, or Raish, whatever you want to call it, the suit definitely looked more matte finish like this. Ideally, what you want is a matte finish like this with a jet black velvet cape to contrast against the sort of charcoal colour of the suit, and a nice matte finish on the cowl as well. And shiny gauntlets, nice bronzish gold belt, and that kind of thing. So, let me see, what else can I talk about? Let's just film them, you can see for yourselves. It's just a bit of a daunting task doing a comparison that I know a lot of you guys are waiting for. I've had so many messages over the past week or so from people waiting for the video so they can make their decision on which one they're going to buy, and that's a lot of pressure on me because they're not cheap figures. I don't want to lead people down the wrong path. So I'm going to just gradually bring you these videos, and hopefully you can kind of make up your own mind. There's plenty more content on the way. I've got to do a True Light review now. So I think I'll be setting him up during that as the first night out Bruce Wayne, which I haven't done yet. So let's get to work on the True Light review, and that will be coming up next. But I hope you've enjoyed just this little look, visual tour, not visual tour, my butt. Just a little visual look at how all 3 look together. I did have to use a base from a Catwoman statue because I needed the NECA one to sort of get a bit taller because he was getting, he was just way too short compared to these 2 on their bases. But now he's a bit taller than everyone else. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what else you want to see. I'll be bringing you way more videos coming up today and over the next few days. So thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. See you soon. Bye. Bye.